if we analyze this picture here, we have some halftone effects here. And then if you notice the picture here, the portrait, it's also halftone. Now the original image or photograph is a colored photograph, and then I just changed it to a halftone. So we're going to talk about that too. Now in this one here too, these are the background here. It has a transparency, and we also use a halftone circles here. Anyway, we're going to talk about that later. So the original image here is this one here. Okay, so now if we compare that here, so the first thing we have to do here is to make this image as a grayscale image. So first you go to bitmap and then click on convert to bitmap, and then in here the resolution, since we're doing it halftone and we don't want it to be really high resolution, 96 dpi would be fine. Keep it 96 dpi and make it grayscale 8-bit. Then make sure the transparent background is turned on to or checked, and then click OK. Now we have a grayscale image here. Now in styles like this, in halftones like this, it is better to keep the contrast higher. Looking at this photograph here, the grayscale photograph, there's not a lot of contrast in this image here. So what we're going to do, we're going to bump up the contrast so that you will see some highlights here in the halftone effect here. See, that highlights is the contrast, the higher contrast. So we click on the image and then click on the you can go to effects and then click on adjust, and then click on brightness, contrast, and intensity. And then in here you're going to have this dialog box here, brightness, contrast. We are more concerned about the contrast, so make the contrast higher, going to the right side and click on preview, and there. And as you notice now that there is highlights in here now. There's more highlights now. I'm gonna bump it a little bit, preview, and I'll click OK. I think we're okay now. So now I click on the image and I go to bitmap and then click on color transform. So when you click on color transform, you have choices here. Choose halftone. So I click halftone, and then in here you'll see a preview of what you're getting here. So this is the original, and this is the applied effect. Now this max dot radius is the size of the dots. Okay. Now if you want to zoom in, zoom out here, you go to the center and then you scroll down, scroll up and scroll down to zoom in. Okay. So now I'm going to make it, let's try to go 8 first and click on preview. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom in, so I click here and then preview again. Okay, so looking at this, we're going to compare it to the original one. The dots is a little bit too big, so I'll make it 7 here and I click on preview. Okay, it's getting there. I'll try 6 here, preview. Okay, let's try 5. Okay, so I think 5 is fine. So if you're happy with that one, like I'm happy with that, so I'll click OK. Now I have this halftone image now. Okay. Now if you notice, the original the color of the dots is kind of orangey. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're going to click on the halftone image here that we already applied the effect, and then since it's grayscale, we can't really change the color to a different color because it's grayscale. So what we're gonna do is we're going to make this back to bitmap RGB. So you click on this, go to bitmap, convert to bitmap again, but this time instead of grayscale, we bring it back to RGB. 96 dpi is fine, and then click OK. Okay. So now we have an RGB bitmap. Okay, so I click on the bitmap again and then click on effects. This time we go effects and click on adjust, and we're going to replace color. So when you click on replace color, you're going to have this dialog box here, and then here you can change the color. Let's just try green, and then click on preview, and you notice it changes, right? Change it to blue, click on preview, changes. Now if I want to match it to this one here, so I'll get the color orange. Let's say this one, preview, and yeah, so I'm good. It's close, the color is close. Okay, and then I'll click OK. Now I already have a colored halftone here, just one tone. Okay, now going back here, there's like an outline, okay, on the portrait. So what I'll do, I'm going to use my Bezier tool. Okay, I'm going to create a path. Okay, so Bezier tool, click here, here. I'm just going to create a simple outline here, and then later on we're going to power clip it. And then I can close it. Close. There. Now I'm just going to do some adjustment here, like this one here. I'm going to see if you want to delete a node here, just double click on it and it will be deleted. And I'm just going to make this straight. Okay, I'm good. Now I'm going to power clip it to the path that I just created. So I click on the image. I know the image is selected because in here, in the status bar, it says there is the JPEG. And I go to effects, power clip, place inside the container, and the container is the path that I just created. And I click on this one here. There. Now if I move this here, you would notice it's already clipped. Okay. Now I'm going to create an outline which is the same color as this one. So I click on the eyedropper tool. I'm just going to sample this color here, or actually I'll sample this color here, and then hold down shift. Okay, well, what happened is I sampled the color and see it's here, CMYK, those are the values, and then I go to my outline that I just did, but I have to hold down shift and go to the outline. See, that one's the outline. Okay, if that icon shows up, it means to say I'm going to change the properties of this outline to the same color as the one I sampled. Okay, so click